Commander stood on the bridge of her warship, watching the stars streak past as they ran. Again, they were always running these days. Behind them, the swarm followed like a dark shadow that never stopped growing. "How many ships did we lose?" she asked quietly. Her officer checked the screens. 17 this time, the colony is gone, all 6 million people. Closed her eyes, 6 million more. The number was too big to feel anymore. In the past 3 years, they had eaten through 40 coalition worlds. Billions dead. The monsters just kept coming, wave after wave, consuming everything in their path. The coalition was dying. Everyone knew it. "Commander, the fleet captains are ready for the strategy meeting," another officer said. Nodded and walked to the conference room. Inside, holographic images of a dozen alien species floated around the table. There were the tall, blue-skinned, the four-armed engineers, the crystalline who spoke in musical tones. All of them looked tired. All of them looked scared. "We cannot keep running," Captain of the Fleet said. His translator made his clicks and whistles into words. "We need to make a stand." "With what?" Commander Bora snapped. She was age, but the war had put lines on her face. "They outnumber us 10 to 1. Every time we fight, we lose." The meeting went in circles. Same arguments, same fear, same hopelessness. Felt her chest tighten. She had joined the coalition fleet to explore the stars, not to watch worlds burn. Then old Scholar spoke up. He was the oldest on the ship, his scales turning gray. "There might be another way," he said softly. Everyone looked at him. "I have been studying the old archives, the really old ones from before the coalition existed. I found something called Terran protocols." "Terran what?" Bora asked. "Defensive patterns, battle strategies. They are different from anything we use now. Very aggressive, very strange." His four arms moved nervously. "They come from the old myths about the Lost Ones." Felt something cold in her stomach. The Lost Ones. She had heard those stories as a child. Spacer tales told in dark rooms. Legends about beings called humans who could do impossible things. They could survive on worlds that killed other species. They fought without shield technology. They never surrendered even when they should. But they were just stories, myths, fiction. "You want us to trust legends," Bora said with a harsh laugh. "I want us to try anything," replied. "I found coordinates in the database. A location marked as a quarantine zone. No one has gone there in 10,000 years. "There is a reason for that," said. "Quarantine zones are forbidden." "So is extinction," said quietly. Everyone looked at her. "What else did you find?" The old scholar pulled up data on the hologram. Ancient text scrolled past, most of it corrupted or damaged. The myths say humans came from a death world, a planet so dangerous that surviving it made them strong. The stories claim they could breathe poison air, heal from terrible wounds, and fight in conditions that would kill us. "Impossible," Bora said. "Maybe," agreed. "But the coordinates are real, and the old texts say that if the galaxy ever faced extinction, the humans would help. They called it the Ancient Pact." Looked at the data. The coordinates pointed to a sector marked in red, dead zone, forbidden. She thought about the 17 ships they lost today, about colony, about all the worlds turning to ash behind them. "How long until they reach the core worlds?" she asked. 3 weeks, said, "maybe 4. 3 weeks until they lost everything. 3 weeks until the coalition capital burned." She looked around the table at the tired faces of her fellow commanders. They were out of options, out of hope, out of time. "I am taking my ship to these coordinates," said. "That is insane," Bora protested. "Do you have a better idea?" asked. When no one answered, she stood up. "We are dying anyway. I would rather die looking for hope than running in fear. Anyone who wants to come with me can follow." After the meeting ended, came to her privately. His old eyes looked worried. "Commander, you should know something. I have read all the myths about humans. Every story, every legend. They all say the same thing. What is that? That humans are terrifying. Strong, yes. Helpful, maybe. But also very, very dangerous. The old texts say there was a reason they disappeared. Something happened that made them leave the galaxy. Something bad. Looked out at the stars. Behind them they were coming. Ahead, maybe nothing but empty space and broken dreams. Or maybe, just maybe, something more. I guess we will find out, she said. The next day, ship jumped into hyperspace, heading for the forbidden coordinates. 5 other ships followed her. They left the rest of the fleet behind, still running, still dying slowly. As the stars blurred around them, wondered if she was chasing a ghost. If humans were real, why did they hide? Why did they leave? And if they found them, would they help or would they make things worse? 3 weeks, that was all the time they had left. The coordinates waited in the darkness, keeping their secrets. The ships dropped out of hyperspace, and everyone on the bridge gasped. A star burned yellow and bright before them. Around it spun 8 planets. No, 9. Sensors were going crazy, showing readings that should not be possible. Gripped her chair as she stared at the 3rd planet from the sun. It was blue, beautiful, covered in swirling white clouds and vast oceans. Life signs, she asked. Everywhere, her sensor officer whispered. That planet is full of life, plants, animals, and, Commander, I am reading billions of intelligent life forms. Billions. Bora's ship sent a message. Are you seeing this? That world is a death trap. Gravity is 0.2 higher than standard. Atmosphere has free oxygen. The weather patterns are violent. There are active volcanoes and earthquakes. How does anything live there? Before could answer, the space around them changed. Massive structures appeared, shimmering into view like they had been invisible. Weapons platforms, hundreds of them, orbiting the blue world. Each one was 3 times bigger than its largest warship. Where did those come from? Asked, his forearms shaking. Then the ships appeared. One moment, empty space. The next, 12 vessels surrounded the coalition fleet. They were sleek and dark, shaped like blades. No visible weapons, but could feel the power coming from them. Are they hostile? Bora's voice cracked over the radio. A message came through on all channels. The voice was strange, speaking perfect coalition, standard with an accent no one had heard before. Attention, unknown vessels. You have entered Sol system, home of humanity. This sector has been under quarantine for 10,000 years. State your purpose or leave immediately. Humanity, the word hung in the air like thunder. They are real, whispered. The humans are real. Found her voice. This is Commander of the Galactic Coalition. We come in peace. We are seeking help. Our worlds are being destroyed. Silence, long enough that thought they might just fire. Then one of the human ships moved closer. It was beautiful and terrible at the same time. Stand by, the voice said. Minutes passed like hours. Watched the blue planet on her screens. Somewhere down there, humans lived, the beings from the myths, the lost ones who could survive anything. Finally, a different voice came through. Older, calmer. This is Captain of the United Earth Naval Ship Indomitable. We have been monitoring your situation. We know about the... You have been watching us? Asked. We have been watching everyone, said. For a very long time. We chose to stay hidden, to stay out of galactic affairs. We swore we would never fight another war. But you are warriors, said, looking at the weapons platforms and warships around her. Your technology, your defenses, they are beyond anything we have. Yes, we are warriors. That is why we swore never again. Paused. We have seen your battles, Commander. We are sorry for your losses. But humanity voted long ago to remain separate. We cannot break that vote. Felt her hope crack. My people are dying. We have 3 weeks before our core worlds fall. The will kill billions, maybe trillions. Is that not enough? Another pause. Could almost hear the captain thinking. I cannot make this decision alone, finally said. This must be voted on by Earth's nations, but I will speak for you. How long can you wait? 72 hours. After that, we must return to defend what is left. Then you will have an answer in 72 hours. In the meantime, I invite you to visit Earth. Let my people see who you are. Let them understand what is at stake. Bora broke into the channel. Visit that death world. The gravity alone would crush half our species. We have accommodation facilities, said. There was something like amusement in his voice. We built them long ago, hoping we might have visitors someday. You will be safe. Made her decision. I accept. My officers and I will come down. Sending coordinates now. Welcome to Earth, Commander. We have been waiting a long time to meet you. The human ship moved away, leading them toward the blue planet. As they got closer, could see continents and oceans. Cities glowed on the night side, millions of lights. So much life on one world. So much danger too. Commander said nervously, the old myths say humans are very strong, very tough. What if we cannot survive where they live? Then we learn, said, and we hope they understand that not everyone is as strong as they are. The shuttle ride down was rough. Earth's atmosphere fought them, throwing the ship around with winds that would have torn apart most civilian craft. Stomach lurched as they dropped through clouds heavy with water. They landed at a facility near a massive ocean. As the doors opened, gravity pulled at like a heavy blanket. She stood carefully, feeling her muscles protest. Around her, the other aliens struggled too. A human waited for them. He was shorter than expected but broad across the shoulders. He wore a simple uniform and smiled at them. When he spoke, his voice was the one from the ship. Commander, welcome to Earth. I am Captain. He held out his hand. Had read about this gesture. She reached out and grasped his hand. It was warm and very strong. Shook gently, probably knowing he could hurt her. Thank you for seeing us, said. Smile faded. Thank you for coming. I wish it was under better circumstances. Come, my people are waiting to meet you, and we have much to discuss. As they walked into the facility, noticed everything seemed built heavy and strong. The doors were thick metal. The walls could probably survive a bombing. This was a world that had taught its people to build tough because everything around them was trying to kill them. What kind of beings did that create? What kind of warriors came from a death world? In 72 hours, she would find out if they were going to help, or if humanity would watch the galaxy burn from behind their quarantine, safe and separate, while everyone else died. The blue planet spun below, beautiful and deadly, keeping its secrets. Woke up feeling like someone had beaten her with hammers. Every muscle hurt. The gravity suit helped, but Earth's pull was relentless. She checked the display. She had been on the planet for only 12 hours and her body already felt exhausted. Her room was comfortable but strange. Everything was made for beings much stronger than her. The door handle took real effort to turn. The bed was hard. The shower pressure had nearly knocked her down until she figured out how to adjust it. A human named Sara came to guide them for the day. She was young and wore civilian clothes. Her smile was friendly but noticed how easily she moved. No gravity suit, no struggle. This crushing weight was normal for her. Good morning, Commander, Sara said. I hope you slept well. Today we will show you around and introduce you to our world. Captain thought it would help your people understand us better. Thank you, said. Walking was hard. Each step took focus. The gravity is difficult, Sara asked with concern. Yes, how do you live like this? Sara looked thoughtful. We do not know anything else. To us, this is normal. I have read that other worlds have lighter gravity. That sounds nice. They went outside and stopped breathing for a moment. The world was overwhelming. Colors everywhere. Green plants covering the ground. Trees reaching up like they wanted to touch the sky. Birds flying through the air, singing. The ocean crashed against rocks nearby, loud and powerful. It is beautiful, whispered beside her. It is dangerous, Sara said casually. The ocean has strong currents that can pull you under. The plants include many poisonous species. Some of the insects can kill you. That is just in this area which we consider very safe. Stared at her, this is safe. Compared to the rest of Earth, yes. Sora started walking along a path. Come, I want to show you something. They walked to an open field where human children were playing, watched in shock as the small humans crashed into each other, chasing a ball. They fell down hard on the ground. They collided at full speed. One child had blood coming from their knee. Should we help them? Asked alarmed. They are fine, Sora said. It is just play. Human children are very durable. They need to be. Our world teaches us to be tough from the beginning. A child ran past, laughing. The gravity that made struggle did not seem to bother this small human at all. Another child climbed a tree, going high up without fear. If they fell from that height, they would be badly hurt. But they did not fall. They were strong and sure, even as children. Later, they visited a dining facility. Soldier Minyu joined them, a young human in military uniform. He brought food for them to try. This is traditional Korean food, he said proudly. Be careful with the red pepper paste. It is spicy. Tried a small amount. Her mouth exploded with fire. She gasped, reaching for water. Around her, the other aliens had similar reactions. Minyu looked apologetic. Sorry, I should have warned you better. Humans enjoy spicy food because our taste evolved to handle chemicals that would hurt other species. We also drink alcohol for fun, even though it is technically a poison. You eat poison for fun? Bora asked, still coughing. Yes, Minyu said like it was obvious. It tastes good. Was studying the food with his scanner. Commander, this food contains compounds that would damage our digestive systems. How do humans process this? We evolved on a very competitive world, Minyu explained. Everything here tried to kill everything else. Plants develop toxins. Animals develop stronger stomachs to eat those plants. Then predators evolved to hunt those animals. It kept going for millions of years. Humans survived by adapting to eat almost anything. He took them to a military training area after lunch. Engineer met them there, along with officer. Both wore combat uniforms without any powered armor. We wanted to show you how human soldiers train, said. She was small for a human but moved with absolute confidence. Please observe. What saw made no sense. Human soldiers ran through obstacle courses that would kill most species. They climbed walls using only their hands and feet. They carried equipment that weighed half as much as they did. They did not use power armor or mechanical assistance. One exercise involved running into a chamber filled with smoke and heat. The humans went in without hesitation. Alarms showed the temperature inside. It was hot enough to cook food. That will kill them, said. They will be fine, assured her. Humans can survive temperature extremes that most species cannot. Our bodies regulate heat very efficiently, and we can function even in great pain. The soldiers came out minutes later, sweating but alive. They were laughing and joking with each other. Explained their training philosophy. We prepare for the worst conditions possible. If a human soldier can fight on Earth, they can fight anywhere. We train without relying on technology because technology can fail. Our bodies, our minds, our will to survive, those never fail. But why? Bora asked. Why not use armor and shields like civilized species? Because we learned a long time ago that the most dangerous thing in the universe is not weapons or technology, said quietly. It is the will to keep fighting when everything says you should quit. That is what Earth taught us. Adaptation, endurance, never giving up. That evening, as the sun set in colors had never seen before, they gathered to hear the results of the vote. Captain stood before them with a sad expression. Earth's nations have voted, he said. The decision is divided. Many countries refuse to join your war. They remember our own terrible history of violence. They are afraid of what we might become if we start fighting again. Felt her hope die. They came all this way for nothing. However, continued, enough nations voted yes. Volunteers from across Earth have agreed to form an expeditionary force. We will help you. How many? Asked. 50,000 soldiers, 12 ships. Bora laughed bitterly. 50,000, the number in the billions. What can 50,000 do? Met her eyes. You have never seen humans fight. We do not win through numbers. We win through being better, tougher, more stubborn. We are sending our best warriors, Commander Bora, each one worth 100 of any other species. That sounds like pride, Bora said. That sounds like fact, replied. We are children of a death world. We survived by being the most dangerous thing on our planet. Now you will see what that means in war. Looked at the sunset, at the beautiful, deadly world around her. She thought about the children playing rough, the soldiers training in hell, the poison they ate for fun, the gravity that crushed her but they ignored. Maybe 50,000 was enough, if they were all like this. When can you leave? She asked. We leave now, said. We have 72 hours, let us not waste them. The human fleet arrived at Archon Prime like ghosts appearing from darkness. 12 ships, sleek and dark, moving in perfect formation. Watch from her bridge as they took position beside the Coalition fleet. Admiral Bora sent a message to all commanders. Her voice was tired and angry. This is what Earth sent. 12 ships and 50,000 soldiers. We are defending against 3 million. This is insulting. Said nothing. She watched the human vessels on her screen. They were smaller than Coalition warships, but something about them felt wrong. No, not wrong. Dangerous. Like a blade waiting to cut. Fleet detected, the sensor officer called out. They are coming out of hyperspace. Multiple contacts, thousands of them. The ships appeared like a swarm of insects. They were organic, grown rather than built, covered in chitinous armor and dripping with acid. Each one carried thousands of soldiers. They filled the space around Archon Prime, blocking out the stars. Had fought them dozens of times. She knew what came next, the fear, the desperation, the slow realization that they would lose. A message came from the human flagship. Captain's voice was calm. Coalition forces, this is UNES Indomitable. We are assuming tactical command. Please follow our instructions exactly. You are assuming what? Bora snapped. You just arrived. You do not know how to fight the... With respect, Admiral, we have been studying them for 3 years. We know everything about them. Please trust us. And please do not get in our way. Before Bora could respond, they attacked. 3 million surged forward like a tidal wave of chitin and rage. They screamed across all frequencies, a sound meant to terrify their prey. The human ships moved. Had never seen anything move like that. The 12 vessels danced through space like they were alive. They did not retreat. They did not form defensive positions. They charged straight into the swarm. What are they doing? Whispered. That is suicide. The first human weapons fired. Not energy beams or plasma, simple kinetic rounds. Metal projectiles accelerated to incredible speeds. They tore through like they were paper. One shot. One kill. Over and over, precise and devastating. Then the nuclear weapons deployed. Watched in shock as human ships flew into the thickest parts of the swarm and detonated warheads at point-blank range. The explosions consumed hundreds of ships. When the light faded, the human vessels emerged, damaged but still fighting. They are insane, Bora said. They are using themselves as weapons. No, realized. They are using everything as weapons. They do not waste anything, not even explosions that hurt them. The battle became chaos. Ships tried to swarm the humans to overwhelm them with numbers, but the humans would not be overwhelmed. Their ships rammed vessels, crushing them. They detonated damaged reactors, taking dozens of enemies with them. They fought at ranges so close that their hulls scraped against armor. Then saw something impossible. A human ship had been breached, its hull torn open by weapons. Dozens of soldiers poured inside, ready to kill the crew. But the humans were ready. They fought in the vacuum of space, wearing only combat suits. No powered armor, no heavy weapons, just rifles and determination. Watched her scream in disbelief as human soldiers held the breach, fighting hand-to-hand against warriors twice their size. "Get me a comm link to that ship," ordered. The channel opened. She heard gunfire, screaming, and human voices shouting orders. A voice came through, breathing hard. "This is Major, 2nd Marines. Little busy right now." "Major, evacuate that section. You cannot hold it." "Can't do that, Commander. If we let them through, they reach engineering. Ship dies. Can't let that happen." More gunfire and explosion. Someone screamed. "How long can you hold?" asked. "As long as it takes, out." The channel cut. Watched the tactical display. That breach was marked in red, critical damage. Any other species would have abandoned that section, but the humans stayed. They fought in conditions that should kill them, against enemies stronger than them, in a vacuum that offered no mercy. They held for 6 hours. Soldier led his squad in that breach, fighting the entire time. When rescue finally came, half his squad was wounded, but they had not gotten through, not even one. Across the battlefield, the same story repeated. Human ships were damaged, burning, venting atmosphere, but they kept fighting. Their crews patched holes during battle, working in vacuum with weapons firing around them. They rerouted power from life support to weapons. They fought until their ships were dead, then evacuated to other vessels and kept fighting. They began to hesitate, saw it on her sensors. The swarm's advance slowed. They were confused. Nothing fought like this. Nothing refused to break, refused to run, refused to die quietly. "They are retreating," said in wonder. "They are actually retreating." It was true. The swarm was pulling back, leaving thousands of dead behind. They had never faced an enemy that scared them more than they scared others. They did not understand these humans who fought with fear but fought anyway, who took wounds that should kill them and kept going, who turned their own deaths into weapons. As the last ships jumped away, looked at the human fleet. All 12 ships were damaged. Some were barely holding together, but all 12 were still there, still functional, still ready to fight. "Get me a damage report," Bara ordered her crew. "Coalition forces report casualties." The numbers came in. The coalition had lost 40% of their ships, thousands dead, tens of thousands wounded. "Human fleet," Bora asked quietly. 8% casualties, reported. "All our wounded are being treated. We will be ready for the next engagement in 6 hours." "All your wounded?" asked. "You mean some of your wounded?" "No, Commander, I mean all. Every human in this battle was wounded in some way. Burns, broken bones, decompression injuries, radiation exposure. But we are still combat effective. This is acceptable." Did not know what to say. Every single one of them was hurt, and they called it acceptable. "How?" Bora asked. "How are you still fighting?" His answer was simple. "Because we are human. We come from Earth. Nothing else in the galaxy is as hard to kill as a human who refuses to die. They just learned that lesson. Soon, the rest of them will learn it too." The channel closed, looked at. The old scholar was shaking, his 4 arms wrapped around himself. "The myths were wrong," he whispered. "What do you mean?" asked. "They said humans were strong. They said humans were tough, but the myths did not say humans were terrifying." Looked at her with wide eyes. "We just witnessed 50,000 humans fight 3 million and win. What happens when they send more? What happens when Earth decides to really fight?" Looked at the damaged human ships, still holding formation, still ready. She thought about holding that breach for 6 hours, about ships using nuclear weapons at point-blank range, about soldiers fighting in vacuum like it was just another day. She had asked for help from a myth. Instead, she found warriors from a death world who did not know how to quit. The galaxy was about to change forever. The medical bay on ship was full of wounded. Coalition soldiers lay in beds, being treated by doctors who worked frantically. They had been pushed back, but the cost was heavy. So many injured, so many who would never fight again. Walked through the bay trying to offer comfort. Then she saw the human section. It was smaller, separated by a partition. Medical officer was there, looking confused and amazed at the same time. "Commander," said when she saw, "you need to see this." Inside the human section, wounded soldiers sat or stood. None of them were in beds. A soldier named Minyu was there, the same one who had shown them spicy food on Earth. His left arm was missing below the elbow. The stump was bandaged, but he was not lying down. He was not crying. He was laughing at something another soldier said. Minyu said carefully, "You lost your arm." "Yeah," he agreed, looking at the stump. "That happens sometimes. I will get a new one. Prosthetics are pretty good these days, better than the original in some ways." "But does it not hurt?" "Oh, it hurts like hell," Minyu said cheerfully. "But pain is just information. It tells you something is wrong. I already know my arm is gone, so the pain is not telling me anything useful. No point focusing on it." Pulled aside. "I have been scanning them. Their bodies are healing faster than should be possible. Broken bones are already knitting together. Burns are closing. Their pain tolerance is beyond anything I have seen, and they are all refusing sedation because they want to be ready if we get attacked again." "How is this possible?" "Evolution on a death world," said quietly. "Their bodies learned to heal fast because on Earth, if you could not heal, you died. They learned to function through pain because on Earth, pain was constant. Everything about them is designed for survival against impossible odds." Looked at Minyu, who was now doing exercises with his remaining arm. One arm gone, and he was training, getting ready for the next battle. "We have survived worse," Minyu said, noticing her staring. "Earth makes you tough, Commander. Compared to our home, this is just another day." The Coalition Council met in emergency session. Representatives from 200 worlds gathered in holographic form. Everyone had seen the battle reports. Everyone had questions. Admiral Bora stood before them. Her opinion of humans had changed. "The human forces achieved what we thought impossible. They broke an assault with minimal forces. They did it through tactics, courage, and sheer refusal to accept defeat." "But are they not dangerous?" a counselor asked. "We invited warriors from a myth. What if they decide to turn on us?" "Then we would already be dead," Bora said bluntly. "Their weapons are more advanced than ours. Their ships are faster. Their soldiers are tougher. If humans wanted to conquer the galaxy, they could have done it 10,000 years ago. But they did not. They chose to hide, to protect us from a distance. That tells me everything I need to know about their character." Captain was invited to address the council. He stood in the chamber, calm and respectful, watched from the audience, curious what he would say. "Members of the council," began. "I understand your fears. You look at humans and see danger. You are right too. We are dangerous. We come from a world that tried to kill us every day. We evolved to fight and survive. War is in our nature." Murmurs of worry spread through the chamber. But continued, "So is compassion. So is the desire to protect the weak. So is the belief that no one should face extinction alone. Yes, we are warriors, but we choose when to fight and who to fight for. We left the galaxy 10,000 years ago because we were afraid of ourselves, afraid of what we might do if we stayed." "What changed?" asked from her seat. Looked at her. "You did, Commander. You came to us desperate and dying. You asked for help even though you thought we were myths. You showed us that sometimes being strong means using that strength to protect others. We have been hiding for 10,000 years. Maybe it is time to stop." He turned back to the council. "Humanity offers you an alliance, not conquest, not control, partnership. We will share our technology. We will train your soldiers. We will stand beside you against the and any other threat. But Earth remains sovereign. We will not join your coalition as members. We will be friends and allies, nothing more." "And what do you want in return?" a counselor asked suspiciously. "Nothing," said simply. "We do not need resources. We do not need territory. We have everything we need on Earth. What we want is to know that when extinction came knocking, we did not hide. We did the right thing." The vote took hours. In the end, the Council agreed. An alliance between the Coalition and Earth, technology exchanges, mutual defense, a new era of cooperation. After the session ended, found standing alone, looking out a window at the stars. "You know," she said, joining him, "the old myths about humans got a lot of things right. You are strong, you are tough, you do not give up." But, asked with a small smile, "But they missed something important. They talked about humans as warriors and survivors. They never mentioned that you are also kind, that you care about others even when you do not have to." Was quiet for a moment. "Do you want to know the truth about why we left the galaxy?" "Yes." "We were too good at war. 10,000 years ago, humans fought in the coalition wars. We won every battle, destroyed every enemy, and we started to like it, the power, the conquest. We became monsters." He looked sad. "So we left. We quarantined ourselves. We swore we would never let ourselves become that again. For 10,000 years, we watched the galaxy from hiding, protecting from a distance, stopping threats before they grew too large, but never joining, never fighting directly. What changed? We realized that hiding from our nature was not the answer. Controlling it was. We are warriors, yes, but we can choose to be warriors who protect instead of conquer, humans who fight for others instead of fighting for ourselves." He looked at her. "You reminded us of that, Commander. Thank you." 3 months later, they launched another assault. This time, they faced a coalition fleet trained by humans, soldiers who knew how to fight through pain, ships that used aggressive tactics, a military that refused to break. The lost. Word spread through the galaxy. Humans were real. The lost ones had returned, and they were not conquering. They were teaching, protecting, fighting alongside their allies. Stood on her bridge, watching human instructors train her crew. She thought about the journey that brought her here, chasing myths, finding truth, discovering that sometimes the scariest things in the universe were also the bravest. Visited her ship one day. They stood on the bridge together, looking at stars that seemed safer now. "Your myths got one thing wrong," said. "What is that?" "We are not heroes. Heroes do great things and expect nothing in return. We are just too stubborn to quit, too proud to let others fight alone, too human to turn away from people who need help." Smiled. "Maybe that is what makes you heroes. You do not see it in yourselves." In the distance, Earth glowed blue and beautiful. A death world that created the most dangerous species in the galaxy. Warriors who chose kindness. Survivors who refused to let others face extinction. The myths were wrong about many things, but they were right about the most important part. When the galaxy needed them, humans came, and they brought hope with them. A new story was beginning, not about humans as myths or monsters, but about humans as friends, as allies, as the stubborn children of a death world who refused to let the galaxy burn. And in the darkness between stars, they learned to fear, not the weapons humans carried, but the will that drove them, the refusal to surrender, the terrible, beautiful stubbornness of a species that survived by never giving up. Earth had returned to the galaxy, and the galaxy would never be the same.